Wistoria. Wand and Sword is a magical, romantic, and action-filled anime set in the magical city of Urbus a city of prosperity, giant megastructures which hold back cosmic horrors beyond the comprehension of man. And of course, racism. Yes, in a world where Lovecraftian monsters knock on your doorsteps, one must ask themselves, which racial minority can they abuse the most? Meet our protagonist Bill Surford, a muggle born into a world of wizards, with a realistic goal of becoming one of the top 5 wizards on the planet. What the fuck is wrong with you? So that he can become one with his childhood friend once again and stand by her side. Maybe Wistoria was our true culture number 8 all along. So, if you also want to break societal norms with your bare hands and liberate the dwarves, join Will Surford on his journey through magical racism land as he climbs the tower of Mercedes College and becomes the Blade of Elfaria. Urbus a city of magic, magical schools, Nazis and war criminals inside those schools, and of course, the false sky. Long ago, in the ancient time of Egyptian hieroglyphics, the world was in a constant state of misery because of the... However, it is never actually explained what these celestial hosts are, so for all we know, they could be these clouds. And if that's the case, we are watching the story of a world that is afraid of bad weather. This planet will not survive England, but to be fair, neither will we. To overcome the issue of the British, 5 great mages got together to make the false sky, a barrier to defend against whatever these things are. But unfortunately for the citizens of this world, they live in a capitalist society. So the false sky is more like a subscription-based service which you need to renew every year or it just gives up. So ever since then, new groups of mages have taken the position of the 5 Magia Vendae to recharge this barrier again and again until this thing breaks like a Tesla and the world faces the consequences of its action. But for now, the world is safe and it can focus on internal matters like building their military-industrial complex and raiding the dungeons, which they do a lot. Honestly, the dungeon feels like more of a threat than the celestial hosts themselves because what the fuck are these? The false sky was built to protect the heavens from the dungeon. Enter our boy Will, who has no magical abilities, like none. Dude cannot move a single feather with Wingardium Leviosa. But Will is jacked, like really jacked. This is him doing a high jump. So, what he can't achieve with magic, he can do with his muscles and strategies. And yes, I know what you're thinking and I agree. Nier. This is just Mashal. But unlike Mashal, who wants no part in being member of some magical society, our boy Will wants to be at the top of his magical society and is working hard for it. You are a slave to the system, Will. But that is not exactly true because why Will really wants to reach the top is to be with his eagle, his waifu, Elfaria Surford, one of the 5 Magia Vendae and his childhood friend / lover. You are a simp, Will. Also, I want to clear this out before we move on. Both of them have the same last name because they grew up in the same orphanage, not because they are siblings. Sorry to disappoint, but you will not find any incest here. So, where was I? Oh yeah, simping. However, there is redemption in the fact that Elfaria simped for him too. Like, she loves him. She really loves him. This woman created world-changing spells just so she can play with him. But then the question arises, what is stopping these two from being together like a lichen? Well, my friend, you seem to have fallen for the myth of consensual sex. Because this society is racist towards anyone and everyone who can't use magic. So, Will faces harsh discrimination in school. Non-stop bullying, slanders, humiliations and all the other classics. But at least he has it better than the dwarves. So you can clearly see what this show is setting up here. A boy who is looked down upon due to his disability, owning everyone as he smashes his way through society and reaches the top. This premise is simple but effective because who doesn't want to see Nazis getting punched? These are the faces of those who will be joining us on our journey. Some seek glory, some power, but most of them just want to fuck Will. Harry Potter, the boy who lives. Alfaria, a nuclear bomb with legs. Colette, she's nice but glorified fan service. Severus Snape.
Bruh.
Nazi number 1, number 2, number 3. And of course, Rusty. That was a quick introduction, but I want to talk about these characters a bit more because what the fuck is going on here? Firstly, Rusty. He's Will's roommate and the poster femboy of this series. But what's more interesting about him is that he's Will's equipment guy. Basically, he makes stuff like grapple hooks and bombs for Will to use. Yes, this dude makes bombs in his dorm room. And that creates one interesting possibility. Because that means this dude has the knowledge to make weapons that does not require magic. How long until he gets his hands on some weapons grade uranium and makes the Magia Vendor look like a joke? And yes, Rusty has a huge penis. It's canon, it's in the lore. This is an important plot point and I will not ignore it. Next up, Will, who is Tanjiro. He's just Tanjiro. And as Tanjiro develops a connection with the demons, Will develops a connection with the Nazis. But for real though, these guys are racist. Like super racist. Especially towards Will. But every time Will defeats one of them, they just immediately turn into his friends. Make it make sense because that's just not how racism works. Bro's fists are drenched in communal harmony sauce. Am I watching Naruto right now? However, I'll give a pass to Sion though because that guy's just a tsundere. I wasn't familiar with the game Sion. And finally, Colette. She's nice, she's cute, she's fun. It's a shame the writer turned her into a losing heroine. You know the one. Also, you already know she's not ending up with Will anyways and that just makes every scene with her sad. Because she's just so nice, man. When Alfaria was playing God in the Tower, Colette was by Will's side. When the Nazis were abusing Will, Colette was by Will's side. When Rusty was ass fucking Will. Now, you would have noticed by now, but this anime looks good. Like, really good. In a post-Demon Slayer world, people seem to have realized that all it takes to make an anime stand out is good animation. And you know what? They're goddamn right. In almost every episode of Wistoria, you get a fight scene that makes you want to make a video about it. See, this shit is straight up shonen propaganda and I choose to be propagandized. The staff knows you are here for the Sakuga and they are here to give it to you. But Wistoria goes the extra mile to add a decent story and an entertaining cast of characters to the mix. And just to make sure, they also add the satisfaction element, where you watch Will, the rebel, middle finger his way up to the top. So in summary, Wistoria is good and apparently here to stay. So, if you also want to watch Colette get cuffed and learn the secrets of that man, welcome to Wistoria, a story of love, drama, and definitely action.